Hey everybody, welcome to the stream. I'm Brandon,
And I'm Ryan.
and this is the Brandon and Ryan Hour, and we're going to talk about stuff.
Yay, talking about stuff.
So, what are we talking about today, Ryan?
That's a great question. We are talking about remakes. The title of the stream is Do All Movie Remakes What? You picked a horrible title. That is not proper English.
But you almost read it.
Okay. So yeah, we're talking about remakes and if they're garbage or not.
Yeah, the original title was going to be Do All Remakes Suck? And I was like, let's change suck to garbage. So, I forgot to change the do, though.
Great
Do the
job.
do. Yes. I am excellent at interneting.
Okay. So, movie remakes. How do you feel about them?
Oh man, there's some of my favorite movies ever. Like no joke.
Shouldn't lie on the internet, Brandon.
Was I not being very convincing?
No.
Oh, crap. My bad. I'll try harder to convince you more next time of my lies. Why don't you believe my lies, Ryan?
Anyway, so what would you consider to be a movie remake?
When they take a movie and make the same movie, but with different people in a, yeah, basically. Why?
Because I was trying to get a definition from you as to what a movie remake is.
Okay. When you take a movie that's already been made and a story, you have a story, and then a cast with not a cast, but like characters and fully developed idea, and there's these movies out there that people watch and have watched for years, and then you come along and you're like, hey, that's a good story. I like that. I'm gonna do the same thing, but slightly different and newer. That's a remake.
All right.
That a sufficient definition for you?
Yes, that is a great definition. I appreciated it.
I'm
It was
so
informative. It was coherent. You did a great job.
Oh, cool. You can't tell I'm drunk?
No, you cannot.
That's good. Because this is totally water in my vodka bottle. I mean,
Okay. So, what would you say is a good remake?
what's a good one?
Yes.
What's a good one? Oh, okay. I know which one is good. All the ones that don't make it past conception.
All right.
I don't know if I've ever seen a remake or a reboot where I've been like, that was better than the original. I'll watch that again. Can you think of one? Can you think
No.
of one? Okay, are we talking about reboots or remakes?
So I do think reboots are different than remakes.
Right.
So remakes, no, I can't think of any.
Okay. So, what about reboots?
Yeah, I mean, there's been some reboots that are better than the originals. Yes,
Okay.
like the Batman Begins. I think, I mean, that is a reboot from the previous Batman movies, and I think that the three in that series were better than the original four that were made.
Okay. Okay. There's an argument to be made there. Hello?
Uh huh.
Okay. What? You were going on.
No, it wasn't. I had finished my sentence, and
Oh, it seemed like you were gonna name some more reboots that.
you asked me for one, so I gave you
No, I
one.
asked you for one remake, but then you said there were some reboots that didn't suck.
Okay. I mean, if you also look at the beginning of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, those were reboots from '90s attempts at those characters. So you had uh, like a horrible Thor movie in the '90s.
What?
What do you mean? What?
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't know there was a Thor movie from the 90s.
Are you
Is it
serious?
like a legitimate production, like A level production?
I don't know if it's A level, but it was a legitimate movie that Marvel uh, commissioned.
Yeah, I don't know. I've literally never heard of this, so it sounds not like something I would classify as an original. And Thor is based off of something, so it's
Uh huh.
not necessarily like Thor is based off of comic books. So I don't know. I don't know if you can classify some obscure movie from the 90s or 80s to
I mean, it
be.
wasn't obscure, but okay.
I've never heard of it.
Then you're dumb.
Literally not dumb
Okay.
on this.
Okay.
Who was in it and who made it? And how much money did it make at the box office? Did it even go to theaters?
I don't know if it went to the theaters or
If
not.
it didn't go to theaters, then it doesn't count.
I mean, yeah, it does. There's straight to DVD movies or straight to home theater movies all the time. Those are legitimate movies.
Not from the 80s or 90s.
Yeah.
Nope. Name one.
Name one what?
Name one straight to home movie from the 80s or 90s. Okay.
Batman Beyond Return of the Joker? I think that was '90s.
That's a cartoon.
Uh huh. Still a straight to DVD movie.
Then it wasn't from the 90s if it's DVD. And that's an obscure movie. Never heard of it.
Okay, release date December 12th, 2000. So,
But animated comic book movies are on a different level than live action box office movies. There's a different audience, it's a completely different monetary scale. Like they're not pulling in it's not, yeah, especially animated movies. They're in a different category.
okay. But like the movie with Thor in it also had Lou Ferrigno as the Hulk. So feel like that gives it some legitimacy.
I don't.
You don't like Lou Ferrigno?
I don't care who the Hulk is. I don't care if it's Lou Ferrigno. Lou Ferrigno is just a big guy
Uh-huh.
for to play the Hulk in the TV show. So no, I don't consider him to be of any acumen to be like, oh, hey, I gotta go watch the new Lou Ferrigno movie because reasons.
Okay.
Never happened. Especially
All
if Lou Ferrigno's in it. It's definitely not an A-level movie. It's probably a C-level movie at best.
All right.
And definitely probably straight to VHS. So, so
So what?
exactly. So what?
Okay. I'm glad we're on the same page.
Okay. So we're in agreement. There are no remakes that are good.
All right.
And there may be some reboots that could be better than that may be a little bit better than the originals.
Yes.
Or than the first iteration. All right.
Great. I feel like this has been a productive discussion then.
But why do they always suck? Why are they always garbage?
Because people nowadays don't know how to do anything inventive or new. Like there's no new spin on the movie.
Okay.
They're just playing for nostalgia.
Right. So they're just doing the same movie with a few minor tweaks and different dialogue and different characters.
Yeah.
Or different
Or
actors.
updated animation, updated graphics.
Right. Maybe like even they usually don't even like I don't know, just a thought. Like I think about the True Grit, right? Because that movie
Mhm.
just the John Wayne movie, or not True Grit. True Grit? Yeah, True Grit.
Yeah, you're thinking True Grit.
Yeah. Great movie. Does not need to be redone. But they did it
Uh-huh.
for no reason. And I didn't like it. There's a book, so I think it was more closely, a little bit closer related to the book than the John Wayne movie, but basically the same thing.
Right.
Because they just did the same thing, right? Oh, book, movie, we're gonna smash them together. And then people asked, "What's his face? Why he put the patch on his on different eye than John Wayne?" And he came. I think he said because he didn't want to do it on the same eye because I don't know, something. It's like so stupid reasons, right?
Okay. Didn't. Never heard about that.
Yeah, he had. I think John Wayne had his patch on his left eye, and then what's his face had a patch on his right eye.
Okay.
It sounds right. Anyway, you could take True Grit, the basic story, but if you put it on Mars, it's a different movie.
Okay.
You could have the same basic plot, change the setting. You could even make it a space western, and it would be probably a decent movie that I would watch. And I wouldn't go like, oh, you know what? I want to watch the original True Grit, not the new one. Because I'm never like, oh, I'm gonna watch the new True Grit. I'm like, I'm gonna watch the old one
I'm
with
gonna
John.
watch True Grit. Yeah.
Yeah, the new one doesn't even come to mind unless I'm like, oh, True Grit's on. Let me watch that. And I'm like, oh, that True Grit. No thanks. I'll watch Shawshank Redemption again. For anybody who ever watches this and doesn't know what we're talking about, there's this thing called TV, and and what you would do is you would pay a company, like 50, 60, $70 a month, and they would let you watch, 10 or 20 channels, and didn't matter what time of day it was, Shawshank Redemption was probably playing on one of those channels. Usually TBS, or was it Fox? No, I think it was TBS.
I think it was TBS.
Yeah, I think it was TBS. It was always on. I bet they made a killing in residuals on that movie. Anyway, I digress. What about what if you took a movie from like the 30s and remade it though? Would anybody care?
People probably wouldn't realize that it was a remake.
Exactly. Because everybody who saw it is dead or really, really old.
Yeah.
But they take movies that people went to watch in the theaters
Uh-huh.
and remake them while those people are still going to the theaters to watch movies. Like, wait
Okay.
at least a generation or two.
Well, they do it because there's money there. They can be like, "Hey, you remember watching this thing? Come watch the new thing."
Yeah, but I don't think the people who watch the original go to watch the new one.
I think
I
they
think
do.
they're trying to pull in a new audience.
I think a lot of it is the older generation going back to revisit, see how it holds up.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. That'd be something probably be difficult to look into. But like I didn't go watch True Grit in the theater.
Okay. You know what reboot was actually really good?
No.
No? Okay.
Okay. What?
No. Dread.
What?
Dread.
Oh, Judge Dredd.
Well, yeah, the new one was
The
called
new
Dread.
one's just called
but
Dredd.
yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Like that was far superior from the Stallone one.
What are you talking about? Far superior than the Stallone one.
Dread that came out mid 2000s, 2010
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
was much better than the original Sylvester Stallone movie that they made.
Are you Carl Urban, 2012? Are you on drugs right now?
Probably.
Are you literally on slow mo right now?
Yes.
Because what are you talking about?
Like the entire movie was better. Carl Urban was better as Dredd. The action was better. The dialogue was better. The pacing of the movie was better. It was less campy.
Campy?
Yeah.
I guess there was a little bit of camp in the
A little bit. It was just full campy. The
how?
original movie was incredibly campy.
How's it full camp?
Have you watched it?
Yeah, I like it.
Okay. I'm not saying you can't like it. I'm saying it's campy.
Cursed Earth Pizza.
What?
Cursed Earth Pizza?
Ah, okay. Okay.
Don't want to. Can't just walk up to the door, knock on the door. Cursed Earth Pizza. Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of camp, but
The entire movie is camp.
I don't agree with that.
Okay. Well, you can
The
be
first
wrong.
one is just like, I don't know. or not the first one. The remake. I liked. I don't know if I'd call it a remake. It's a reboot.
Reboot. Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
said.
Yeah. I kept saying remake, but anyway, I liked it. I would say it was good, but I don't know if I would say it was better than the original because there was way more plot and story in the original. In the reboot, it was just these guys are doing drugs. I've got to kill the drug lord. That's all it was. Kill the drug lord and everybody in between.
Uh huh.
There was no story.
Yes, there was.
Right. I just told you the whole story in 10 seconds.
Not really.
There's a bad drug.
Uh huh.
There, the cop gets locked into
The cop and a trainee.
building.
Yes. Uh huh.
They have to kill all the bad guys in the building who are the drug lords for the new crazy drug. Cops kill all bad guys.
Right, but then there's also the subplot with the crooked judges that come in. There's story there.
That took another 2 seconds to tell.
Okay.
What's the story from the original one? Can you tell that in 10 seconds?
Yeah, Sylvester Stallone pretends to be Judge Dredd. There's some convoluted plot about a twin clone, and they fight at the end.
That is not the story at all. You said two things.
Okay, yeah, that's the entire movie.
No, that's not the entire movie.
Oh, why don't you give a recap of it then?
I don't want to.
Okay, because you can't. Because they just did it for you.
Stallone, Judge Dredd, is the best cop on the force. He was he in line to be? Yeah, he was in line to be the Chief Justice or whatever it was. I forget what. Anyway, the head justice. I don't remember. He is his former partner is in prison for murder. Breaks out of prison. Frames Dredd for a bunch of murders. Dredd is supposed to be put down, or is supposed to be executed, but instead of being executed, the Chief Justice sacrifices his life so that he can stay alive. Dredd breaks out of prison, finds out that his former partner wasn't just his partner, but also his twin brother, and that they're both test tube babies, basically. And then Dredd has to break back into the city after being kicked out of the city and kill his brother. Much more of a plot.
Not really.
Okay. You're obviously an idiot right now.
Okay.
And I need some more water. I'm going to
more water.
you.
Do what?
I would say it's good, but I also would say it doesn't really affect the original.
I didn't say it did. I just said it was.
No, I know, but a lot of reboots will have a negative effect on the original, especially remakes.
Okay.
Because they'll, change storylines. But you could easily that storyline could easily fall into somewhere down the line after the original Dredd movie. The Judge Dredd movie with Stallone, right? Like 5-10 years later, he's still Dredd doing stuff, and then he gets on a call and goes in this building and has to kill everybody. Because that's what he does. He kills everybody. He is the law. I always love that line. I am the law.
Okay.
Okay. You don't like that line?
No, it's a good line.
Okay. But yeah, it doesn't negatively affect the
Yeah,
pre-story.
because it's a better movie. You are correct. It's not
It's not a
negatively
better movie.
impact.
You can't say it's a better movie.
Yes, I
The
can.
plot does not make it a better movie. The graphics are better. The action is better.
The
That's
dialogue
because
is
it's not
better.
from the 90s.
Everything is better in that movie.
Carl
Yes.
Urban is cool.
Uh-huh.
The graphics are better, but other than that, like it's not
It is a better movie.
a better. What do you mean by like? Okay, I wouldn't say better. I would say good. They're both good. I wouldn't say one is necessarily better than the other.
Okay. I mean, you can have
I
your
would probably
opinion.
both give them like a 7.5 or an 8.
Okay. See, I think that'd be fair for the new one, but the Stallone one, I'd give a 5 or 6.
Well, you're stupid. So
Okay.
there's that.
Okay.
What about RoboCop?
The one from the 80s? Was
Well,
that
which
from the
one would you
80s?
pick? The new one or the original?
The original.
Okay. What else? What are some other remakes or reboots? Let's trash them as many as we can.
Ninja Turtles. The new Ninja Turtle movies were horrible.
Yeah. Why were they 15 foot tall?
I have no idea.
How are you supposed to get around in a sewer if you're 15 feet tall?
Again, I have no idea.
I've never seen a 15-foot tall ninja.
Neither have I.
Like, that doesn't make any sense. Not
Again.
that turtles being humanoids makes any sense.
It makes perfect sense.
But how did they grow? They weren't 15 feet tall, but they were like 8.
They were
9
like
feet tall.
12.
They were
They
tall.
were, yes.
They were huge.
They were more than 8 feet. They were, I'd say, over 10 feet. But yeah. And that's not what the turtles are supposed to be. So I did not enjoy that one at all.
Yeah, I didn't like it either. I didn't watch the second one. Did you?
I did not.
Yeah.
Because the first one was so bad. I was like, I'm not even going to waste my time.
I will not. Thanks though. And I did not like her as April O'Neil.
No, she was not an April O'Neil at all.
No, she needed to stay in Transformers where she belonged. She did not need to do that. Anyway, okay. So what else? Let me see if I can come up with one.
I mean, speaking of Transformers, it's a reboot of the TV show.
Yeah, but that doesn't count. We're talking about movies. Movies and TV shows don't cross over like that. They're always in a different universe. Are they not?
No.
When are they ever in the same universe?
Have you ever watched the Star Trek TV show and then seen the Star Trek movie? Those were all, the first 5 movies were all in the same universe as the original series.
I'll give you that. And no, yeah, because even in the later movies, those were from the same guys from the TV series were in those movies too.
Uh-huh.
So I'll give you that one.
And then you got Firefly in the Serenity movie.
They
Same
made
universe.
No, but that's not the same thing. That's not the same thing.
Exact same thing.
It's not the same thing.
How is it not?
Because they only made a movie because the show got canceled. So they had to make a movie to wrap it up.
They didn't have to make a movie.
But it's the same thing. It's the same people.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay. I wouldn't
I'm just saying I just defeated your argument.
No, you didn't.
So
I think my argument still stands. It's not the same thing because
it is the same
the TV shows, no, those TV shows, it was a TV show, right? They had seasons and then they would take and make movies from the TV show.
Right. So
Right.
still in the same universe.
Yes, in the
Your
TV
argument
universe.
was
It's
that they
still
were
in the
not
same TV universe. It doesn't transition over to just being in the movie universe.
right. You said TV shows and movies are not in the same universe. I've just given you two examples
Right.
where they were.
Those movies belong
Uh-huh.
in the TV universe.
Okay.
Okay, so they're not in the same universe.
They
There's a
are in the
difference
same
between
universe.
TV, there's a difference between TV shows and movies. Right? That's why most of the time, like with The Flash, they didn't use the TV show guy for the movies
Yeah, I know.
because they separate the universes.
Yes, but I've
Right.
just given two examples where they didn't do that,
Right. Okay. But
defeating
I'm
your argument.
saying they're not, it's not a TV universe and a movie universe. It's only in one universe. It's only in the TV universe. They
Right. Your
made
original
four,
argument was that they are in different universes.
I'm
I've
still saying
given
they're in different universes.
do what?
I'm saying they're in different universes.
Right. But you said there's never been examples where they're in the same, and I've given two examples. I just want you to say,
Are
yes,
you
Ryan,
not?
you're right.
What are you talking about? I already said that. I already said there
Okay,
are
great.
TV shows where they've made movies, but
All
they
right.
still belong in the TV universe.
Okay.
They're not. Are you not understanding what I'm saying?
No, I am, but I just wanted to hear that I was right.
Who freaking cares?
I do.
Shut up.
Okay, I mean, if you want to take
I'm
over the
trying
stream
to
by
like
yourself, go ahead.
articulate something over there, and you look like an idiot with your face on like that. And it's really distracting. Anyway. What?
I think you were trying to make a point. Have you
You
made
weren't
your
listening,
point?
so I was gonna move on. So
Oh, okay, great.
what
What are you
other
moving on
remakes
to?
are there?
Do what?
What other remakes are there? And your argument also falls apart because they remade Star Trek with people that weren't in the TV show.
Right. I said the original 5 movies were still in the same universe. So my argument holds
What are
water.
you talking about?
The first 5 Star Trek movies were still in the TV universe.
Right. So they're TV movies. They're not movies.
They are movies. They were released in theaters.
Right. I get that.
It
But
was a
they're in
continuation
the
of
TV universe.
Yes, that's what I've said from the beginning.
Right. So it's not the same category when you're talking about TV like you were talking about Batman, right? There's a ton of Batman cartoons. When you make a
Uh-huh.
Batman movie, nobody's like, "Oh, they're rebooting the Batman cartoon." Nobody says that.
Right, I didn't say they did.
So, what other reboots are there that don't suck?
You got me.
This list you sent me is not mostly reboots. It's mostly
Yes, I know. Just
mostly
sequels.
sequels, which makes
Right.
no sense.
Uh-huh.
So, I'm thoroughly confused. But is Mission Impossible on here twice?
I have no idea.
Anyway, yeah, this doesn't even make sense. Okay, so what are some of the worst ones that you think?
I don't know. They all seem to be in the same category. They're all horrible.
Okay. What about the Karate Kid?
Yeah, that follow or the reboot was horrendous.
Yeah, it's straight garbage.
It
I thought
wasn't
it was gonna
even-
be. I thought it was gonna be okay because of Jackie Chan.
Yeah, I think he did good in the movie, but it wasn't a Karate Kid movie.
Yeah,
They didn't even do
and
karate. They were doing kung fu, not karate.
okay, yeah, I didn't even remember that, but yeah, you're right. It was not karate that they were doing.
Right.
Um, and it also wasn't the same because they were using different characters.
Uh-huh. They just
So
used the name.
it was a reboot, not a remake, I would say, right?
I think they were just using the name. I wouldn't even consider it a reboot.
Okay.
They were just using the title of it
Well,
because people know the title.
and the same premise, like, karate master teaches a helpless kid who's new to town how to
Yeah,
defend
they
himself.
didn't have to use the Karate Kid name though. They could have
Right.
called it anything
Could have
else.
called it anything else. Honestly, if they would have called it something else, I probably wouldn't hate it so much.
But
It
people
wasn't
probably wouldn't have gone and seen it as well. Or not as many people would have gone and seen it.
I don't know, I probably still would have because I would have been like, "Oh, a Jackie Chan movie. I like Jackie Chan. Oh, Will Smith has a son. Let's see if he can act. Oh,
Yeah,
wait,
but I think a lot
Jackie
of
Chan can
people
act. Will Smith's son cannot."
right. I think a lot of people wouldn't have gone to watch it though, is what I'm saying. I think
Well, I
they
don't know.
made money or made more money than they would have because they used the name of it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they could have called it anything, and it still would have been a, a box office success.
Okay.
I don't know if it was a box office success. Budget. Let's see. Yeah, it was a success. $40 million budget. 600 million or 500 and something million worldwide.
Okay.
I still think it would have been a success if it would have been called, you know, Kung Fu Kid. I don't
Okay.
think anybody would have been like, "Oh, what the heck is this crap, Kung Fu Kid?" And all
Right,
they
but I'm
literally
saying
would have had to do was change karate to kung fu, and
right.
you know, I wouldn't hate it so much.
Okay.
Anyway, all right, what's next on this stupid list that I just found? Flubber. What about Flubber?
So the original ones were what, from the 30s or 40s?
It was really old. Yeah.
I do think the original ones were better. Um,
When Flubber originally came out, did you know about the original?
yeah, I had watched it growing up. I had
Okay.
watched the originals growing up. I
Okay.
think the story was better. I mean, I liked Robin Williams in the role in the new one,
Hmm.
but I think overall the original. How many movies were there? There were 2 or 3 original Flubber movies,
Yeah, I can't remember.
and I do think those were
Trying to look.
better overall.
Son of Flubber. What were they called? Because they're not coming up here.
Mm,
Oh, I guess they were called Son of Flubber
okay,
because there's several movies here.
all right. But what about you?
So when the new Flubber with Robin Williams came out, was that 97? I didn't know the other ones existed,
Okay.
and I still don't think I've seen. Oh, they came out in the 60s.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
Okay.
this the Son of Flubber was from 63.
Okay. Well, I
So
was
there's
obviously off on the time frame, but
34 years in between them, but I hadn't seen or heard about the Son of Flubber. So it
okay.
I didn't know about that until years later. So it didn't really, to me, Flubber wasn't a remake or a reboot. It was just a movie.
Okay.
Um,
Oh yeah, so the first one was called The Absent-Minded Professor, and then you had Son of Flubber, or
that's
The Son
right.
of Flubber.
Yeah. Yeah. So like Absent-Minded Professor doesn't have the same name.
Right.
So yeah. When did that come out? 61.
When did
So
this come out?
they've got
Yeah.
101
So
Dalmatians on here. The live action.
there was a live action 101 Dalmatians?
Yeah, from the mid 90s. You never watched that?
Nope.
You had to have seen that. Or
I've
like
only seen
seen.
the cartoon.
You got to be kidding me.
Uh-uh.
With Glenn Close and Jeff Daniels, you didn't see that?
Never watched that.
Wow. Okay. Interesting.
Okay, pulling it up, I do remember seeing this picture,
The poster, yeah.
the poster, but I've never watched this.
Okay. Well, I've seen it,
Okay.
and actually, I would. That's the thing when you're coming, like, I don't know, like cartoon to live action. I would actually say this is probably the only one that I can think of that doesn't suck. Because this
Huh.
101 Dalmatians, it's just a fun movie, right? There's no like
I don't know
stupid.
if that's true because I
I'm
haven't
just
watched
saying,
it.
it's just a 101 Dalmatians movie. It's not trying to be anything. It's not trying to be the cartoon,
Okay.
and it's from the mid 90s, so it's not animated. It's actually dogs, right? It's just a stupid kids movie, but I wouldn't say I wouldn't say it's garbage because it's a reboot or remake. I don't know. And going from live action to cartoon or cartoon to live action to me is kind of in different categories.
Is it?
Yeah.
So like the Beauty and the Beast movie that they did where they took the cartoon and did live action with some CG, you would put that in a different category than a reboot or remake?
No, because that was garbage and I didn't watch it. It just looked stupid, and
Okay.
um, the graphics looked stupid. Like it looked like that movie looked to me like they were trying to make the cartoon into a live action movie
Yeah. I mean,
instead of just making a live action movie.
right, that's exactly what they were doing. I didn't watch it, but that's exactly what they did. They added like 2 or 3 scenes to it
Okay, right,
and made the exact same movie,
yeah.
just
So like
with real people in CG.
right, like the cartoon 101 Dalmatians to the live action one. There's similarities, obviously, but it's not like they took the cartoon and were like, let's make a shot for shot of the cartoon.
Okay.
Um, and they weren't trying to put in stupid CGI to make it look like animated things were real. Like, yeah, it was just humans and dogs. So,
Okay.
okay, here's one. What about Charlie and the Chocolate Factory?
Original was better
I
than the
agree.
Willy Wonka Johnny Depp movie.
What?
The original was better than the Willy Wonka Johnny Depp movie.
That was called Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Was it?
Yes, I'm looking
Okay.
at it right now. The one
All
with
right.
Johnny Depp is Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Okay. Yeah, because that was the name of the book.
Yes.
But the original one was what, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory?
Yeah.
I want to say is what the original one was.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory with Depp was okay, but I like the original.
But yeah, I don't even know if that's technically a reboot as well, because all they did, they went back to the book
Right.
and stuck closer to the book than the original movie did.
Than the movie. And there was almost 30 years between the two. Or no, 71. This is 34 years between the two. There were some similarities with, obviously the Chocolate Factory,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, it's different enough. But I still like the Willy Wonka one better. I'd
Okay.
watch that one before I watched Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh yeah.
Um, not gonna. That one's no. We talked about Beating the Beast. Jungle Book is also garbage. The live action.
Okay.
Pete's Dragon. I don't know this one. Do I
Did
know
they
this
do a
one?
remake of Peach Dragon?
There's a 2016 version here. Is there a different one? I don't know this movie.
Yeah, so there was one from like the 70s that was cartoon. The dragon was a cartoon and the
Okay.
rest of it was live action.
Oh, I know this movie. Yeah, I haven't seen this in forever.
I didn't know they did a remake of it.
I didn't need. Yeah, I mean this.
Well, they did a horrible job of marketing that then.
Wait, what's? Huh. Robert Redford was in it. Carl Urban was in it too.
In the new one?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, they must have done a horrible job marketing this because I do not remember this at all.
Neither do I.
That's the thing. Like, I don't know. I like the fake looking cartoon dragon more than I like the somewhat realistic fake animated like CGI dragon.
Okay.
Like, what do you think? Do you
I
like the
mean, I liked
CGI or
the.
the cartoon?
I haven't seen the dragon in the CGI one,
Well,
but
there's just a picture here that I'm looking at. And it just looks
okay. Now I'm pulling up a picture. No, I like the original cartoon dragon.
right. Yeah, it just looks. I don't know. I like that. I like the obviously not realness of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do not like that dragon at all. That is horrible.
This movie, I don't know.
Okay, what movie is it?
Straw Dogs.
Nope,
Never heard
not a
of the
movie I'm
new one
familiar
or
with
the
either.
original one. Yeah, I don't know. All right, what about Gone in 60 Seconds?
Was that a remake?
Yeah,
Uh,
but it's from a remake of a like 60s or 70s movie.
okay,
That
I've never seen the original then. I enjoyed I guess, the remake then.
the original is from 74. The
Never
remake is
watched it.
from 2000.
Okay.
The original is literally just how long is this? It's an hour and 38 minutes, and I'm pretty sure it's like an hour and 35-minute car chase.
Okay.
So it's basically not like the remake at all
All right.
because he's literally just running from the cops. He stole a car, running from the cops the whole time, and he gets away because it's the 60s or the
All
70s,
right.
and that's you could get away with stuff like that then.
Interesting. Yeah, I've never heard of this first one, so
It's the same car. Is it the same car? It's got to be the same car. Pretty sure it's the same car
all right.
from Gone in, like the what's the car? What do they call it? What's he call it?
So the Ford Mustang, what did they call that one? Eleanor.
Eleanor. Yeah, yeah.
I only know because I'm reading the IMDb page.
I was just trying to look it up because I was like, this drove me nuts. What the heck? I'm pretty sure it was the same car, but
Okay.
other than that, because I accidentally bought the original because I didn't know it existed,
Mm-hmm.
and I put it in and I was like, this is not the same thing, but I guess I'll watch it because I paid for it. And I was like, okay, that's not so bad. Let's see here. I mean, so I guess there are a few remakes that are good, but that's because the original is either obscure,
Uh-huh.
super long time ago, or like you've never seen it because it was before your time.
Okay.
Um, um, I didn't watch Murder on the Orient Express. I didn't watch either one of them. RoboCop, the original one was better. The new one just kind of sucked.
Yep.
Total Recall, the original one was way better.
The one with Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, and actual Mars
Yeah.
instead of a hole in the middle of the earth.
Yep.
Um, Planet of the Apes. This is the 2001 Planet of the Apes. So that one's technically, I guess, been remade twice? Or is it like a remake and then a reboot? I don't know.
Yeah. So the one with Mark Wahlberg, which I think is the one that you're looking at,
Yeah.
was a reboot, and then they rebooted it again with the CG apes.
Okay. Yeah, so that's like Inception kind of crap.
Yeah.
Ben-Hur, I never watched the original or the remake.
The original is good. I didn't watch the remake. You've never seen Ben-Hur?
Never seen Ben-Hur.
Why
It's
not?
like it's out there where I'm like, oh, I should probably watch that, but
Uh-huh.
I just never think about it or get around to it.
It's a super long movie. Yeah,
And
three and a
there's
half
that
hours.
3.5.
3.5 hours.
I mean, I've watched 3.5 hour long movies before, so I can't really, say one way. I can't knock it for that.
Right, I'm just saying it's a super long movie, so you have to
Yeah.
set aside a good chunk of a day to watch it.
Or 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
What about Point Break?
Is there a reboot of that?
Yeah, there's a 2015 version.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, they are really.
I wouldn't
doing
call it a
horrible-
reboot. It was just a remake.
Okay, then they are doing a horrible job at marketing these movies.
It was not very good.
Okay.
It was okay. So you know how in Fast and Furious, like all the stunts get like the next movie, like they gotta up the game.
Up the stunts. Yep.
It's basically what this was. Like the stunts were like from the first movie, like to this one, they were like on cocaine in the second one, where they were just
Okay.
like, oh, we've got to go, when we gotta go surf these giant waves, but we're gonna like get on these like billionaire yachts and go out into the middle of the ocean where there's like these giant 100-foot swells for some reason.
All right.
And it's like, okay, you're just out in the middle of the ocean, out in the middle of the Indian Ocean, I think, on giant yachts and surfing, and it's ridiculous. Anyway, it was stupid. What else? We already talked about True Grit. That sucked. Red Dawn.
Yeah, the reboot wasn't as good as the original.
Yep.
I mean, I had
it was
fun with
okay.
it.
Yeah,
but it wasn't
okay.
it wasn't on the same level as the original.
Right. Yeah, the original one was definitely. And I think also with the original one, they won at the end. But with the remake, they were still fighting the battle, so it was still going on. So that kind of sucked.
Yeah. And I mean, outside of Chris Hemsworth and the new one, I don't think they had the best cast.
Who was even in that?
They had the short guy
Josh.
from Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Robert.
Or no, Josh Hutcherson.
Yep, that's the guy I was thinking of. Hutcherson.
And Josh Peck. He was in it. From Drake and Josh.
No idea what Drake and Josh are. Or is.
The TV show, Drake and Josh. Is it Drake and Josh?
I mean, it could be. I've never watched it, so.
Yeah, Drake and Josh.
Okay. Never watched it.
Yeah, it's just a Nickelodeon's kids show.
Okay.
Oh, let's see what else is on this stupid list.
I don't know. What else is on that stupid list?
Mm. Oh, The Fly. They redid The Fly too. Forgot about
Did they?
that. Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I think was that like a remake of a remake?
Your
Yeah,
guess
because
is good.
there's a 1950s Fly, and there's a 1986 Fly, and I want to say there was something. Was there another one? I was thinking that they had done something more recent with The Fly.
Okay.
Maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, but The Fly from the mid '80s was a remake from something from the early '50s.
Okay. Good to know.
So I guess there's more out there than you think. They're just regurgitating things every couple of generations, but I think the quality is definitely going down.
Yeah.
That's why I don't think they're for the original generation. I think it's for the new generation trying to capture a new audience with
Right. But
something.
if you can pull like the Karate Kids from the '80s, that
Right,
movie,
but that's not the
throw
point.
the name on it. Right. But if you throw the
Right,
name on it, you're gonna get the parents who saw it as a child taking their kids. So you
right,
can.
but that's not the point. I
I
mean,
think
that's
it
part
is.
of the point.
I think that's part of the point. You're getting that nostalgia from the older generation and trying to hook in
Yeah,
the new one.
yeah, but I don't think people in their 60s are gonna go watch movies that they watched when they were in their 30s or 20s.
Okay.
I
Right.
think the kids who are now in
That's
their
why they're
20s
doing
and
ones
teens.
from when we were kids.
Right, but I'm not going to watch those movies either, though.
Okay. But I think that's what the point is.
No, the point is to capture a new audience with the same story, so they don't have to rewrite it. It's not to get. I mean, yes, there's a residual effect of getting money
Nostalgia.
again
Right.
from the nostalgia effect, but I think the main thing is to get the money from the new generation to see something they haven't seen, because there's obviously way more people from the new generation who haven't seen the original who are they're getting money from. I
No,
don't
I
think
think they're still getting it from the parents who saw it as a child. Because the parents were like, "Hey, I remember this from when I was a kid. Let's go see the new thing." So they take their children who don't have money. I'm just being difficult right now, dude.
a lot of 20-year-olds out there going to movies with their parents.
I didn't say 20-year-olds. I said children.
Right.
So if you pull a movie from when we were 10, 12, 15,
Yes.
and then you remake it when those people our age are having kids, you get that nostalgia from that generation, and then they
Right.
take their kids as well. And then you
Who's
hook the
taking
new
their 8-year-old to watch Karate Kid?
a lot of people.
There's no way.
What?
I would not take my 8-year-old to watch Karate Kid.
Okay.
You would take an 8-year-old to that movie?
If I didn't know what it was, if it just had the Karate Kid name on it, yeah.
Would you take an 8-year-old to watch the original Karate Kid movie?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Am I just an old fuddy duddy or what? Like, I don't
I
know.
guess so.
I just can't imagine. I just can't imagine.
Because, yeah, I want to say the original Karate Kid was PG, so.
Well, so is the new one.
Okay, so yeah, I don't see why you wouldn't.
I don't know. Because it's 2 hours long, and it's a long time to sit somewhere with an 8-year-old.
Okay.
I don't know if I take an 8-year-old to any movie that's because they're all 3 hours long nowadays. Anyway, being dumb. What else is on this stupid list? It's getting into like it got into like horror movies, and I don't really care about horror movies.
Yeah, I'm not a horror movie fan, so
Yeah, so um yours, mine, and ours.
okay.
I think
The
that was a
original one was better with Lucy
70s.
Ball.
When was that from?
The Lucy Ball one was
68. So that
yeah,
was almost 40 years between those two.
yeah.
See, nobody's taking their kid to that.
Unless you watched it with your parents growing up.
Right, if you watched it in 68 when you were 8 years old,
Uh-huh. Like that's a
that
movie I
wouldn't
watched.
happen. I don't think that would happen in the first place.
Okay,
I
I
don't know.
watched that movie growing up with my parents. So, yeah,
Right.
I'd
You
take
didn't
my
watch it
niece or
in
nephew.
theaters when it first came out. That's what I'm saying.
Right. I'm
You
not
watched
saying
it
that
in the 90s with your parents.
correct.
So when it
And
came out in
I think that's what they're hitting on. Or hey, people watch this growing up. Let's reuse the title and see if we can get them back in the theater.
yeah, to show a new generation, not so you can watch it again. Because without kids, you're not going to go back and watch that movie.
Why not? It's a good movie. The original is a good movie. So,
Right. Are you going to go watch a remake without kids?
not in the theater, no.
Okay. So the remakes are to pull in the kids, not pull in the parents necessarily. The
Right, but you have
parents
to
come
have
with
the
the
parents
kids.
there
Right. The
to
parents
take
come
the
with the
kids.
kids because
Right. And
that's
that's my
not the
entire
main
point.
goal.
Do what?
That's not the main goal.
I think it is.
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, you're wrong. It's
Clearly not
fantastic
wrong.
that you enjoy being wrong.
I'm not wrong at all.
Okay.
Glad you agree. 25 best movie remakes of all times. True Grit is on this list, and that pisses me off.
Well, I mean, if it could be one of the better ones.
The Wizard of Oz? Oh, okay. What?
Like the BET version?
No, this just says The Wizard of Oz. I'm confused. The 25 best movie remakes of all times. The 1939 Wizard of Oz is on this list. I am confused.
How is that a remake?
I do not know. I am thoroughly confused. When did they make the first one? 1800 or 1900, I mean?
That's impossible. Or, oh no, look. It looks like there was one from 25.
1925?
Uh-huh. So there was the 39 one,
Wow.
which is what everybody, or what I know.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
apparently there was one from earlier.
What is this 2021 crap?
For what?
Something came up on the Wizard of Oz in 2021. Oh, okay. I don't know what this is.
I think, no, 2021. I don't know.
This
Because it did have
no.
the Oz movie that came out, but I think it was before.
No, I don't know what this
2021.
is. I don't think it's a movie. This might be like a play or something.
Okay.
Anyway. Ben-Hur is on here. Guess I should watch that at some point.
Yeah, the original you should watch.
Oh, the original, not the remake?
I mean, I haven't seen the remake. I heard it wasn't as good as the original. So,
Hmm. So, consensus, most of them are garbage. There are a few that are okay,
right. So,
especially if
most
you've never
remakes
seen
are
the original.
garbage. Some reboots are okay.
Okay. And especially if you've never seen the original.
Correct.
Yeah, Aladdin is garbage. Dumbo is probably garbage. Beauty and the Beast is garbage. Ghostbusters, garbage. Is that a reboot or a remake? That's a reboot.
I don't know. I've never seen any of the Ghostbuster movies.
Come again?
I have never watched any of the Ghostbuster movies.
Um,
You seem a mite confused.
yeah, a little bit.
You, sir, are a jerk.
Okay, you gotta watch the Ghostbuster movies.
Okay, I'm pretty sure we've already had this conversation.
I don't recall. I mean, I'm not saying they're the greatest movies of all time. I'm just saying they're fun.
Okay.
Did you watch the cartoon as a kid?
No.
Oh. Your childhood sucked.
Okay, I wasn't allowed to watch stuff with ghosts in it. Unless it was Casper. Casper was okay.
Are you serious? Casper's okay, but Slimer's not okay?
Hey, I didn't make the rules.
I'm not saying you should have watched the Ghostbusters movie as a child, but
Yeah, the old
cartoon.
Casper cartoon. Yeah, that was fine.
What?
Again, I didn't make the rules.
Clearly. Clearly. I just, yeah. Let's see. Lion King sucked. The Magnificent Seven.
Yeah, the reboot with Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
That wasn't bad.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
It wasn't.
And I think I'd only ever seen parts of the original from like the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these on this list are Disney. Mulan, Overboard, Parent Trap, Planet of the Apes. Pretty sure those are Disney. Alice in Wonderland. All this because all their writers suck, so they can't write anything good.
Mm-hmm.
They remade Pet Cemetery? That's just stupid.
Okay.
Anyway. Oh, what was this one here though? Oh, The Mummy. What about The Mummy with Tom Cruise?
Didn't watch it.
You didn't?
Like, no, the previews looked horrible. The CG in the previews looked atrocious. So.
Really?
Yeah.
It actually wasn't. The CG wasn't that bad. I didn't think there was.
In the previews, it was. I don't know if they did a whole lot of touch up before the movie was released, but they did not hook me with the previews. So I decided not to go.
I was interested if they would have, because it was definitely a reboot. I think if they would have continued on with the project,
Mm-hmm.
it may have been okay because I think they were gonna do the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde thing.
Yeah, they were trying to build a monsters universe out of it. So
Yeah. What was the
Dr.
other
Jekyll,
one?
Mr. Hyde, Creature from the Blue Lagoon.
Yeah.
Um,
Um, the Thing,
I don't think so.
is that part of it? I don't
I don't
remember.
think so. Dracula. I think they were going to
Dracula.
bring Dracula into it.
Yeah.
So all
Yeah,
the
they were
old
gonna do all that.
Universal monsters. The
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. It was um because I liked what's his face as Jekyll.
Russell Crowe.
Yeah. But that was a reboot. So the problem was that is I really liked The Mummy with Brendan Fraser.
Yeah,
So it's hard to
but that
go
was
into
more
that.
of a comedy action. I think they were trying to, from what I saw in the movies, they were trying to make it more grounded, less comedy.
Oh yeah, definitely less yeah, it wasn't comedy at all. Whereas the one with Brendan Fraser had comedic effect. Um and I would say it was not really horror, but kind of like, I don't know, kind of leaning to the kind of horror esque thing of the um, side of it. Not really
Okay.
on the. It was definitely action and not comedy, but leaning, trying to get that little bit of horror, jump scare kind of stuff in there,
Okay.
um, without being a straight on horror movie.
All right.
Um, Definitely interesting. It's kind of strange project for Tom Cruise, though. I think it might have done better had he not been in it. Um, and I think there's a lot of fans that who were people were like, I'm not watching a movie called The Mummy without Brendan Fraser in it.
Okay.
I think there was a lot of that because I think that's when he was kind of regaining some not regaining some fame, but coming
Getting
back
back
into
in
the
the spotlight.
spotlight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. Anyway, but I mean, I don't know. Anytime I see a remake or a reboot, especially nowadays, I get pretty skeptical.
Yep.
What franchise or movie would you like to see a remake done on?
None of them.
You wouldn't like to see any movie remade
No.
where they were like, you know what? They almost. What the frick is that?
Oh, hey, look, there's spam. Let's block you. Well, that's fantastic. Our first viewer was a spam bot.
That's cool. Freaking, freaking stupid holes. Nah, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Yeah, you were asking what movie
Oh,
franchise would you like to see them remake?
yeah. I mean, there've been movies where it's like, man, they could have done that way better. They would have done this or that. But now I can't think of them because it's not, I don't know. I don't know. There's probably some movies out there that'd be like, I'd be okay if they remade that. There's definitely a bunch where I'm like, don't do it.
Don't do
At
it.
least if they're gonna do remakes or reboots of stuff, wait till like Back to the Future. You either have to do something where you bring them into it and it's just like it's a completely different thing than the original Back to the Future, but like same premise kind of thing, and they're there for some reason, like as just like, I don't know, passing thing, right? Or wait till they freaking die and then do something else.
I don't see how you can remake a masterpiece like Back to the
Okay,
Future.
calm down.
What? What do you mean?
Calm down, sir. What if they remade the last 3 Star Wars movies?
I wouldn't care. I'm done with Star Wars because they destroyed it. So
Did you say, or did I don't know if you said it or if I heard it somewhere, that they were thinking about um pretend, like, I think Disney was thinking about pretending like the last 3 movies didn't happen
I heard reports of that, but
and like doing some kind of retcon where they just like swipe those 3 under the rug and pretend like nothing to see here.
I don't know how you do that. Like that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I don't know how you do that either. I guess I don't know. You just okay, yeah, we do. We know exactly how they do that. It's the same thing they use to fix everything and do all kinds of stupid crap in stupid movies.
Time travel?
Time travel.
Yeah, that would be a horrible idea.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you right here, right now, exactly what's gonna happen if they decide to delete those 3 movies from existence. You want to know what's gonna happen?
I would love to hear your theory.
Okay, here, it's not a theory. It's what's gonna happen. They're gonna get a couple of Jedi or people who have force power, right? For some reason, they have enormous force power. Somehow they're descendants of or related to the Skywalkers, right? Somehow.
Okay.
They, talk to Yoda and all of the other guys who have died, the Force Ghost, right? They all get together and they do what they did in X-Men when they sent Wolverine back in time. They send one of them back in time, either as a Force Ghost or as in reality. They send that one back in time before any of the stupid nonsense happens.
Well, that sounds incredibly dumb.
What are the odds? What are the odds that something like that is what happens?
I wouldn't put it past
it, like 80%.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't put it past the studio now. So
Yeah, I mean, I told you exactly what was going to happen with Endgame,
okay.
and I was so pissed off. I'm still mad about it.
Okay, great. Thanks for sharing that.
You know what I thought about doing the other day? Because I watched Spider-Man 3, the real one, the good one.
Okay, the
The
Tobey
only
Maguire one.
Yeah, the Tobey Maguire one. I watched
Okay.
that, and then I was like, he did something. It was that stupid corny scene when he's trying to be cool and hip because he's got Venom.
Yeah.
And I was like, dang, this is so cringe. But I was like, it holds up though, right? Like it's so bad and nerdy and cringy, but it still holds up. And then I was like, man, I was like, do I want to watch the new Spider-Man with him in it? And I was like, no, but I could fast forward to when he shows up. I was like, I'll just watch the last 30 minutes.
Okay.
But anyway. Yes.
Yeah, well, I think
we're moving on up in the world. We got spam in our chat now, Ryan. This is so exciting.
Okay. Well, that was a fun conversation about remakes and reboots.
Yeah.
Why are you trying to talk over me?
Our channel's blowing up, man.
Yep. All right then.
So what's the plan? Are we gonna try to meet Thursday?
Yes.
Okay.
Thursday at
Same
6 o'clock.
same time, same channel. Same bat time, same bat channel.
That would be correct.
What are we gonna talk about? Stuff.
Stuff. Again.
Cool. All right.